Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to demo some moves and talk about the things that people normally do wrong in these exercises, and then how to correct them. So the first thing I'm going to do is a lunge. So I know I'm in my flip-flops, but I'm okay. So in a lunge, we often see people coming too far forward in their knee. So a lot of times people will come into a lunge and tip their body weight forward and come in front of the toes with their knee. You want to make sure that they keep their knee above their ankle and not going past their toe as they bend into the lunge. The knee will go forward slightly, but you don't want it to go too far forward. This can cause ligament issues, going too deep into the knee like that, and it's really hard on the knee. So that's one of the things in lunges that people often do wrong. Also, people will often be rounded forward, and as they come down, their posture may not be as good. As they tip into this, they want to still have a neutral spine with their shoulder blades retracted and depressed as they drop down. This back leg needs to be far enough back that when you come down, that knee aims towards the floor, because if they have their legs too close together, then they'll end up tipping forward because there isn't enough room for their legs to go. So they need to make sure their legs are up with their neutral spine, shoulders back and down. Okay, so that's a lunge. Then we have a squat. With a squat, often people will open up their feet. We want them to open about hip width apart, pointing the toes straight ahead. If that doesn't work for them, they can adapt it. If they need to move their feet a little wider in order to get a little deeper into the hips, their toes may go out a little wider as well, but we need to make sure that the knees are tracking over the toes, whichever direction the toes are facing. So if they are closer together here, they're pushing back, and we want to make sure that those knees track over the toes, but don't go past the toes. Okay, again, it's something that can put too much pressure on the knees and the ligaments in the knee. If you go too deep into that, it's unsafe to do. So we often will see that. Checking people's knees is important. Also checking the spine as they tip forward. A lot of people will go down for a little bit until they get to a point where it's uncomfortable or it's harder for them, and then they'll start to round it out and get into their squat. We want to make sure that they stay upright the whole time in that neutral spine, and as they come down, they stay in that neutral spine going as far as they're comfortable with it, and then draw themselves back up and coming down again. So again, the neutral spine, the retracted shoulders, depressed shoulders, important, but often things that we see go wrong in a squat. Next, we have back extensions. With back extensions, what we see most of all is hyperextension of the spine. So back extensions, laying down here, what we would like people to do is lengthen out their body and put their head in neutral. And putting it in neutral means either facing it downwards or touching the mat with their head. So from here, often people will go up too high here and end up lifting through the neck and through the spine and possibly hyperextending in the spine, which we want to completely eliminate because that can put a lot of pressure on the spine and cause issues with discs in the back. So we want to make sure people are long here, and as they lift up, they take one arm, one leg. I'm doing a Superman extension here. The same thing goes for an extension if you were on a machine or on a bench that felt folded over. You want to make sure that you can stay in neutral spine and don't go past that. And another common thing that you might see in a back extension would just be poor posture in the back and neck. It's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, okay, so now we're gonna go into a dead bug. Dead bug is another thing that we're gonna do on the mat here. So laying on your back, you're gonna have your knees up above your hips. Common things here would be that movement in the spine that you could see. A lot of people would roll onto the pelvis a little bit more as the legs are coming down, and causing that movement in the spine is causing possible injury in the spinal area, and also we're not engaging our core if our spine is moving. So having those arms up, you can do a dead bug like this, both arms, both legs, or both legs, one arm, however it works for you. But the most common thing is seeing mobility in the spine and in the hips. So important to focus on those areas when people are learning how to do this so that they can correct it before they go too deep into the posture. Okay, you can stop right there.